This lesson is a 12-bar blues, and we're starting off with a little intro here. Using these fingers, the ring on the 4th fret of the E string and the middle on the 4th fret of the G. We're going to slide up to that position. So usually I start by picking the G and then playing the 4th fret of the E here, and then just alternating between those two. Like that. Now we take it back a fret, then back another fret, and then we jump into the bottom of an E major chord, so the middle finger goes to the 2nd fret of D, and the index goes here to the 1st fret of G. Starting from this D string down, we have that little chord. So this is what we got so far. Sometimes you could add a trill, which means I'm just using the middle finger here and doing some quick hammer-ons and pull-offs to the 2nd fret of the D string. You don't need that, it kind of sounds cool though. And now we're going to go open E string, then 3rd fret of E, then open A string, then 1st and 2nd fret. Landing on that B note here, 2nd fret of the A string. It's kind of like a blues turnaround is what that's called. And now we're into the 12-bar blues. Starting in the key of E, we're going to play 4 bars in E. So what I'm doing here is holding down the 2nd fret of the A and D strings here, starting with a low E string, then playing the D string, then the A string, and then the pinky's reaching out to the 5th fret on the A string, giving it a slight pull down, and then hitting that 2nd fret of the D string, which is an E note. So that's the low E string, 2nd fret of D, 2nd fret of A, pinky goes to the 5th fret of A, slight pull down, back to the 2nd fret of the D. We play that 4 times in a row. Every time we play that is 1 bar. So there's 4 bars. Now we're going to play 2 bars in A. And we're playing the exact same thing. The index finger just moves down here now to the 2nd fret of the D and G strings. Starting with a low A string now. Then we go to the 2nd fret of G, 2nd fret of D, and then pinky bends at the 5th fret of D. Back to 2nd fret of G. 2 of those. Now we've done 6 bars. So 4 bars in E, 2 bars in A. Now we're going to go back to do 2 bars in E. Same thing. Now we're going to do the blues turnaround, which means in the key of E we're going to go to the B chord, which is also called the 5 chord. The E is the 1, the A is the 4, and the B is the 5 in blues talk. So we're going to the B chord, 2nd fret of the A string. We're going to play this note here, then the 4th frets of G, and then D, and then index finger is going to play the 2nd fret of G, slight bend there, and then we go to the 4th fret on G. No bend on the 4th fret of G, just a slight bend, leading up to that though. So that's the start of our turnaround, 1 bar in B. Now we're going to do 1 bar in A. And then 1 bar in E. And now we could just go back to the B chord and play one of these. Or we could walk up to it with bass lines, which is a common blues sound there, and which is what I did. Another one of those 0-3 on E, 0-1-2. And so that's how the turnaround works. It's the 5 chord, the 4 chord, the 1 chord, and then back to the 4 chord. And that's a 12-bar blues. And that's how a 12-bar blues works. 4 bars in the 1 chord, then 2 bars in the 4 chord, another 2 bars in the 1 chord, then the turnaround, which is 4 bars. First one is in the 5 chord, then the 4 chord, then the 1 chord, finishing off with the 5 chord. But in this case we just went. But we're hearing that B note there. At the end there I just played a quick little blues solo here in the key of E, and sliding up to the 12th fret on the B string while holding the 10th fret of the E string, and we're playing that in triplets, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's 4 times there. Then the index finger goes up to the 12th fret on the E here, then the 15th fret on B, then the 14th fret on G, then the 12th fret on G, 14 on D, then 12 again on G, just like that. And then I do a quick little bend at the 14th fret of G, bring it back down to 14, slight bend on the 12th fret of G, then 14th fret of the D string. And we're just using notes here from the E minor pentatonic scale, which is 12, 15, 12, 14, 12, 14, 12, 14, 12, 15, 12, 15. Or over here, 0, 3, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 3.